Well, I don't think we know. I don't think we know enough, to be honest. There's a
No,
lot that I just
I
don't
know,
know.
but it's like it makes me like if I think everyone's, any SNES box out there that's in like let's say 9.2 can just be like pressed and cleaned and fucking we can polish it and like
Yeah,
it's an every
yeah.
9.2 can actually be a 9.6 or you know what I mean?
Nine
Like if
six.
there's
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it just feels like a kick in the
And
nuts.
and that's why you collect sealed because there's less chance of that even happening.
Yeah. It feels like I'm participating in a contest that I don't know what to do. Welcome into another episode of Cheat Code Weekly, where we discuss everything video game collecting and investing. I'm, of course, Greg, joined here once again by Henry. And what we're going to talk about today is the act of, well, we talked about this a little bit a while ago. Back when we talked about CIB grading, I think we had a whole episode about is it worth grading CIBs? And we touched in there about the fact that you can improve the condition of CIBs. And I'm not just talking about bringing in parts from different one. You got a mint box, a mint manual, you put them together. But there's also people working on stuff. There are people, again, it's not like repairing, restoring, altering. Those are all bad things. But it's alter. I don't want to use the word alter because alter is literally the bad thing. It's like enhancing
Yeah.
the condition through non-additive means to improve the grade you actually get. So that there's a super fine line between altering and what is natural improvements. Pressing, for example, you're probably familiar with pressing in comic books. You take heat, steam, whatever it is, and you literally like press it in there. You leave it in there for 4 hours. You walk away. You come back. Oh my God, great! No creases. You can do that to manuals. You can do that to boxes. That is part of what is taking place right
Are
now
you
with.
sh- are you sure that's not additive? Because you're introducing heat, you're introducing humidity, you're introducing moisture. Yes, the comic community thinks it's okay, but the simple fact of you're adding water to something that shouldn't have water and removing it is you're
Is that
adding
not an
something to it, right? It's
additive
an additive
process?
process. And then you're subtractive process. Yes. So in the comic community, it's okay. In cards, if you get caught, it's a definite no-no, but that's the key word. It's like if you get caught.
Yeah,
And
well,
I think a
that's
lot of these grading companies, they can't tell.
the endless cat and mouse that exists in all grading fields is like, what can we get away with, and will the grading company reject it? So even polishing cards was a huge thing a while ago. There, people are dipping cards in water now and using processes to get it. And basically, so long as the grading company isn't rejecting it, it's going to be taking place because people are going to do whatever they can to get the highest possible grade on their stuff. And as video game grading here keeps growing and getting bigger and more optimized, and prices are, everyone is going to be doing everything and everyone is going to be experimenting with everything to enhance the condition of their stuff without altering or getting rejected by the company. Two of the most obvious things are inking and trimming. Just to give you an example, those are like, you cannot do that. You can't add ink to something, you're immediately rejected. You cannot trim the edges of a card or a comic book, you'll get rejected for that. So, what we're going to talk about is what is okay, what do we know about that's still happening right now with games? Should you be doing this? Where do the lines draw? Where are the lines with this stuff? So, let us know down below what you think, what kind of altering or changing or improving should be allowed within the video game hobby for both sealed and CIB, and let's get into this here. What do you want to start with on what should we alter?
TLDR, we don't really know either. We don't know what the red line is. We don't know how far the grading company will allow you to go. I mean, at least for games, right?
I can say
We
with
know that.
VGA, this is sorry, I don't want to cut you. You can go in a second. With VGA, just for like how far you can go, I got rejected for inking. I had a Diablo 2 big
Yeah.
box last year. Apparently, there was color added. So I think you can easily see that if you just put it under blue light, you can see Sharpie and stuff. VGA
Yeah.
outright rejected it. Wouldn't encase it in any regard.
I'm sure every single grading company would reject that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's literally that's additive. But I mean, yeah, pressing is okay. That's fine. The where I sort of draw the red line is if you're trying to get rid of a deep crease, you're just dunking that piece of the cardboard in water or whatever solution you have, and then you're basically inflating the cardboard and then removing that moisture to make it look like there's no crease that was ever there. In my mind, it's like number one, are you making that cardboard more brittle? you're adding the solution or water that never was supposed to be there to begin with. Sure, yeah, it looks nice now, but like, is it what is the long-term effect of that? I don't know what it is. Like, I can't imagine it could be better than what it was originally, right? So, is that a red line? Like, are you okay with dudes just dumping cardboard in solution or water to remove deep creases?
Yeah,
Because that's what people do, right?
I've seen literal videos of cards being fully submerged in either water, a solution, whatever it
Yeah,
is, and like then taken out of the solution and dried and humidity and going back in the solution and clamps on the corners.
yeah,
And so long as like that's the biggest thing with doing all this, right? You say that's where the line is. If none of that is detectable work that has been done on the card, then have you actually added or subtracted or changed the substance of the card? Do we need to
yes,
bring
of
out some
course.
kind of yeah, but what do we need to bring out some kind of like atom tester to see if it's like like, oh, the number of
I
atoms in the card has
maybe
changed.
I at this point I don't think the grading companies know. They definitely don't. I mean, this whole thing with cards was it started with Crip's Card Carrier
Yep.
maybe like 2 years ago. He flamboyantly came out and it's like, "Hey guys, look at all the stuff I'm doing," and then people were like, "Oh, let's send all this stuff over to him." And then once like the grading companies, specifically PSA, they found out the exact cards that he worked on, they literally deactivated all the certs. And they said if you do anything more than just microfibering and maybe using a little bit of water to wipe something down, it's going to be considered altered. So ever since then, he's gone dark. But I'm sure people are still doing stuff like that. They're just doing it on a down low. And by and large, they probably are getting away with it if it's not too crazy what
Well,
they're doing.
that's why, right? You say that, right? So Kurt was the biggest thing in cards, but right now, I'm sure some of you guys have seen in Facebook groups now, people are tagging a certain individual, a certain Instagram page that they are having everything sent to him, CIB, sealed games, and he's improving the condition a lot. I think the last one I saw
Yeah.
was like a 9.0 box turned into a 9.4. An 8.5 cartridge turned into a 9.6 or a 9.4, one of the two. So it's like we're improving boxes, we're improving cartridges, we're improving manuals in very significant ways.
Yeah.
Obviously, pressing is the most obvious one where I can, like, okay, I understand what he's doing. But like when you're taking a cartridge from 8.5 to 9.6, and maybe this goes into, well, is sticker removal okay? Or should it be okay that we introduce substances to remove stickers? Because I'll use, Bestine or Goo Gone or whatever it is. I'll use that on there to remove stickers and remove potentially stains or whatever it is. Should we be using stuff like that on the seals? And even with sealed, there's polishing. I'm sure you are aware that's taking place. Various polishes can get you to a state of being better off than you otherwise were.
Yeah. I mean, well, first of all, the grading companies, they provide you an extra service to remove stickers and all that stuff. So clearly that's okay
Yeah,
with
clearly, but
them.
yeah,
Clearly that's okay.
clearly it's okay on the side of like
Yeah.
grading, right? And that's the thing too is like they have
Yes.
heavy cleaning. Do they introduce any kind of substances or anything? Do they do any kind of
I
polishing? I don't know.
and what is heavy cleaning? Is it just getting rid of like the security tags, or are they polishing too? I
Because
don't know
once you
exactly what
remove
the
a
service
tag,
is.
like if you remove one of those big security stickers or you remove one of those little security tags, you can use like you can polish that up a bit to like remove or lessen the imprint mark of the big
Yeah.
sticker that you removed. You can
Yeah.
absolutely shine that up a little bit better than just removing it raw.
Yeah. So I mean, when it comes to sealed, you're basically just working on the seal, and I guess people just have to assume that if you have a really nice copy, the seal probably was worked on in some form or fashion, and just gonna have to be okay with it. Just assume that you did. Just assume that you did.
You're
But
safer
with
assuming it's
CIB,
been worked on. Yes. Yeah.
yeah. But with CIB, everything can be improved on. Like you said, the cart. Is he polishing a cart? Is he getting rid of
I
Sharpie
think you
marks?
can.
Is
I've
he?
never tried to polish a cart. I think you can.
Is he getting rid of stain marks somewhere? Like clearly, we saw the deep creases being removed.
Pen can be lifted off boxes if you know what you're doing.
Sharpie.
Marker can be lifted off boxes if you know what you're doing.
Yeah. So basically magician. But are like are people okay with that? Like I would imagine people want to know if it's been worked on or not, and
I know, right? It's
that's the
like
thing.
part of me.
There's no chance for people to know because the grading companies probably can't catch it, or if they're like even if they besides them actually knowing that he worked on something, I don't think they can tell for sure that it's been worked on.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Because even if you see a pressed manual, it's like this has probably been pressed, but one, does it matter? Two, are they going to start hitting you for it? Like, oh my God, that's we rejected. You pressed your manual. Does it matter? I
Yeah,
don't think pressing does. I think every company has said it doesn't. But like, let's say
yeah,
polishing.
pressing doesn't.
If they can like,
Yeah.
can they like? I don't know. Can they tell stuff has been polished? Do they care if stuff has been polished? Do you care if something? The audience watching. Do you care if something's been polished? If you can't discern it, does it matter? Should that be disclosed?
Can you polish a box?
I would say yes. Based on some stuff I've seen, I would say yes. I don't know to what degree, and I don't know specifically what, but just like because
Yeah,
polishes come in levels, right? Because you've seen me
yeah.
use Plastex on something, and it was way too harsh. It just like it brutalized the seal of the game. But like you can, it's like a science. It's too much. The nerds rule this because it's like if you actually know the chemicals and the science and how to do this, you can be a magician, like you said.
So, polishing, are you basically removing a layer of something or you're adding a layer of something?
Removing, right?
What's the actual process? You're
That's what
removing?
polish does,
Okay.
doesn't it? Doesn't it remove a
Okay.
very thin layer? Because you can only resurface a
Okay.
disc so many times because it like polishes down a layer. I think.
So, by its definition, polishing in itself is altering the state of the seal or the box or whatever you're using it on, right? Because you're removing a layer or something.
Yeah, yeah.
You're
It's
not
it's it's
supposed to do that.
deductive, additive, and deductive. It's yes. You're
Yeah.
you're literally removing part of the. That's why I think resurfaced games are flagged by WATA and CGC. I think if you send in a resurfaced game, they will say like disc resurfaced.
Okay. So by that definition, if they're okay with it and just passing through, maybe it's just all hunky dory. Like I'm assuming if it can polish seals, then you can literally polish anything. And if they're okay with polishing the seals, then they should be okay with the polishing of the game or the I don't know manual or the box, right? And but the whole process of it in itself is altering its original state.
Yes. Like I think I would
Yes.
say so. And I think it's part of why I don't enjoy CIB chase at the highest levels. Because it's like every 9.6, every 9.8 out there, or let's say 90% of them, they're gonna have been pressed, worked on, every little thing done to it, because you can do so much more to a CIB item. You can't do much for
Yeah.
sealed. You can't repair an NES box that's a 9.4. You know what I mean? You can't turn that into a
Yeah.
9.8, but like we're seeing people out there, we're seeing literal examples of like 9.6 becoming 9.8, if even 9.9, because they, people are working the cardboard to such a degree. You know when you open an NES game and there's that little fraying on the cardboard thing there?
Yeah.
People are
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
taking that and basically gluing it back down across the whole ledge to it. Like it's insanity.
Well, the whole point of CIB is that you can Frankenstein anything. So the whole process of grading CIB is you're literally improving something one by one, whether you're getting new components, or I guess even in this case, you're improving on the components you originally have. Whereas in the seal, yeah, sure, you can maybe polish the seal to make it look nicer, but I imagine that the polishes itself can't do complete magic. Whereas, like, if there's this just giant deep scratch, I don't think it can polish that off,
No, you'd have to go
right?
too deep. You'd start like I think you'd literally
Yeah,
rip the like you can't go
like
deep
rip the
enough.
seals itself.
Yeah, because that's
So
yeah, that's like I said, it's removing layers. So the more you polish something, because with that Plastex, I could literally go through the seal. Coming back to us. Hello,
bad
hello.
internet. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Coming back, coming back.
Any audio?
Bad internet, bad internet.
There we go.
Yeah. So it is. Is it working now? Is it working
Yeah,
now?
yeah, I
You can
got you.
cut
I
this
got
out
you.
if you want, but
No, no,
it's
no.
bad
You can
internet.
just we'll just
Yeah,
roll
you're
with
not
it.
going to cut this out. You're not
Nah.
going to cut this out. But yeah, so like with sealed, at the very least, you're like, okay, maybe if the seal grade's a A plus plus, maybe it was polished. Or even if it was the A plus, maybe it was a really bad A. Like it was a bad A
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you
you
turned
might
it
be
to
able to
A
move
plus.
half a or a seal grade. You might be
Maybe.
able to
Yeah,
turn.
but you're not going from B plus to A plus plus. You're
No,
not
no,
going
no, no,
from B
no.
plus to A plus. There's just no way. But with the CIB, dude, like you said, the box could be 8.5 and now it's what? A 9.4?
Yeah,
That's literally huge.
it
So
just feels like we are no longer. I don't know. Not like it. So it's a very uneven playing field. Like I don't own a heat
yeah.
press. I don't own any of this stuff. It's you have to really know or at least it really, really, really helps to understand the entire process. And if you can do it yourself, because that guy who presses stuff also will be selling stuff in the groups. Do you want to buy something from him that you know has been completely, enhanced in every single way? Does that matter?
Yeah. I think at the very least, it and if this is possible, we know in cards it's basically not detectable, but if somehow in games you can like the grading comes can be it can say maybe in the back label it'll say like, oh, XYZ was polished or XYZ was improved upon. I don't know what type of like words that they would use, but if you could actually bring attention to what actually was improved upon, I think that would be the best solution. But I don't really think that's possible because people can't even detect it in cards.
Yeah,
So
I don't think you
how are
can
you
be
going to detect it in
100% sure.
games? Yeah, you can't be 100% sure. That's the problem. Like you could probably tell that it was worked on, but you can't be like, oh, it 100% was worked on.
Yeah, you're
So
literally like killing the person's item.
yeah.
If you reject it obviously and then also if you put notes like oh polished, like if you cannot be 100% accurate 100% of the time, um you just can't do it. But
So
would
herein lies the fact, like maybe you just have to assume everything is worked on in CIB, and if you want to go after high grade CIB, you just have to be okay with that fact, you know?
what
Just like
people
how
buy
just like how people in cards, like vintage cards, a lot of trim stuff has gone through grading because you know what people used to do, they buy oversized cards, they trim it to the right like to the right dimensions and then they grade it, and then the grading companies can't tell that it was oversized before and it was trimmed, so you have to assume a lot of those super high grade vintage cards may have been trimmed before, and that's just something you gotta live with. Same thing
uh,
with CIB.
people target older comics just to break them out and press them and improve them and everything. Like that's its own
Yeah,
market of people buying
yeah.
older. You could probably do this in video games too. People already are targeting older certificates, older WATA graded games. Because the standards were a bit different, but like I would assume most stuff from 2019, 2020, probably even 2021 hasn't been worked on in any way. It was probably very natural stuff. I would greatly assume compared to stuff now being graded 2023, 24, 25.
Yeah. What happens when the market goes up? So I guess games are not dead because people are spending more money to grade stuff and improve upon its appearance.
So to ask you the last question then here, does it matter to you? Would you want to buy something from the guy who you know has worked on everything? Like I have a 9.6, he has a 9.6. Both are CIBs, right? Does it matter to you and what price you want to pay, or do you look at it weird? Does it matter? They're both nine
If you
sixes.
can't if you can't tell, then oh, that's the thing. You can't tell for sure. Like, and in a way, you just have to assume that everything was worked on. I think that's the best course of
So you would
action
pay
for
the same
anyone going
price?
after
Like
CIB.
you'd pay the same price,
Yeah.
the same exact price between both games?
I just have to assume that a 9.6 CIB with all these great great components has been worked on. That's it.
I think
And,
if
and, and, and if I knew that it wasn't worked on, maybe I would buy it to work on it to get a
that's what I was about
9.8.
to say. That's what I was about to
Right?
say. Yes, if
Okay.
you could
So
be
that's the arbitrage. If
yes.
you knew that wasn't worked on. But otherwise, if you can't tell, I assume everything's worked on. And
Yeah.
that's the best course of action.
Yeah, I think that's what you have to do at this point because the odds that you find, yeah, they're still out there. There's 9.6, 9.8 CIB sitting in someone's collection somewhere. They're still out there. You could probably press the manual into a 9.8. It's still out there. But I submitted some CIBs most recently. Absolutely every manual in there was pressed. Are you kidding me? Of course they were. I'd be an idiot not to, right? Like you can't. Like I
Oh, look at
can't.
this dirty Greg, dude, doing dirty work already.
Yeah.
Look at you, gaming the system. Terrible.
The you know what I mean though? Like you have to. It doesn't make sense not to. It costs like $20
Yeah.
to grade or to press your manuals. Find some comic presser, ask for. You know what I mean? Of course you have to. So yeah, I think you just have to assume everyone is and pay more for something that hasn't been just because it means you might be able to improve it later. That's cool. Decide if that matters to you. Decide. Let us know. Just let us know what is or shouldn't be allowed by the grading companies. What should or shouldn't be done by people. Do you care? Does it? So long as it's not detected, who cares, right? If you can't tell, you can't tell. It's all the same. That's how it
Buy the
works.
label. Buy the label, not the game.
Yeah, buy the grade. The grade says 9.8. It's 9.8. Why are you freaking worrying about all the nitty gritty details?
Exactly.
Let us know
Exactly.
down below. Thanks for watching this week, and we'll see you guys again.